Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back at a Deerfield Park playing Wildwood Longs. Today's video I am assigning every disc in my bag a number and asking Siri to randomly pick which disc I will be throwing on every hole, and for every shot on that hole I have to use that disc. I'm excited to see how this challenge goes and I hope you guys enjoy. Here we go. Hole 1, par 3, 249 feet. Straight up this hill, a few trees to beat. Let's see what disc we're throwing. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 20. Alright, it picked number 8, and that is my Z-Swirl drone, which is actually a really good pick for this hole. I haven't thrown a single shot today. Let's see how the first one goes. Here we go. Alright, should be pin high left, probably like 27 feet or so. Let's see if we can go sink that putt. Alright, that is a great start to the challenge. Birdie on hole 1, heading over to hole 2. Alright, got to my tee shot here. Just caught this tree, rolled back to here. About a 60-footer here for the birdie. See if we can give it a run. Alright, just short. That's a tap in for par, going to hole 3. Alright, par on hole 2, moving to hole 3, 331 feet. Shapes well for a forehand, but you can get a backhand to work. Let's see what we're throwing. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 20. It is 2, which is my baseline Luna. So we're going to go backhand, slam it on a bunch of hyzer, and hope we hit the angle just right. Overall, not a bad effort. I think it's probably going to be mid-circle 2, right around 40 to 45 feet. But it's a look nevertheless. Let's see if we can go knock it down and get a birdie here on 3. Dang it. Just left it high, another tap in for par. Would have loved to see that fall. That would have been a pretty cool highlight putt. But it's all good. Par here on 3, moving to hole 4. Let's get it. Alright, hole 4, another par 3, 353 feet. Very tough birdie no matter what we get, but let's see what disc we're going to throw. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 20. It is 12, which is my ESP Onyx. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Let's find out. I think I'm going to go backhand turnover down the left gap, down tempo it a little bit, give it some anhyzer and try to pop the nose up. It's a really tricky shot. The basket's super far right, but we're going to see if we can hit it just right and see if we can get a look. Again, not a bad effort. That got through the gap, way down there into the right, not quite to the basket, so another C2 putt. We'll see if we can give it a good run. Another 45-footer here for the birdie. See if we can make it. I didn't quite putt it wide enough, but it's another tap in for par. No blemishes on the card yet. Really haven't thrown any bad shots. I've had a look on every hole. Now let's see if we can get the tee shots a little bit closer and try to get some more birdies. Moving to 5. Alright, hole 5 is a shorter par 3, 263 feet. Goes around the corner and then goes way left. Hoping for something overstable for a backhand. Let's see what Siri gives us. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 20. Siri picked 18, which is my Z-Swirl Force. Gonna have to take a lot of power off of this, but it could work. Let's see if we can do it. Also making its video debut for the first time in a very long time. Austin Hannum 2020 Tour Series Force. I hit something late, but I got through the corner. Should be in circle 1, hopefully, for a look at the birdie. Let's go see if we can make it. Only about 15 to 20 feet left here for the birdie. Let's see if we can make it. Certainly not in the center of the chains. That's a birdie, and we take those all day. Moving to hole 6. All right, hole 6, another short par 3. 240 feet, shapes really well for a backhand flex. So really hoping for something pretty overstable here again. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 20. 16 is the number. It is my stock Z-Force, which is my most overstable distance driver, and that gives us a chance. Here we go. I'm going to have to take a lot of power off of this, and I'm going to have to throw it on quite a bit of anhyzer so that it pushes straight long enough. But here we go, let's see if we can do it. I think I parked it. I don't think I could have thrown that shot much better. Maybe that should even be my game plan on this hole. Let's go see how close it is, tap it out, and move to hole 7. Little bullseye putt for the birdie here. Very nice, very nice. 3 under through 6 holes so far with this challenge. Let's move to hole 7, shortest hole in the course. Here we go. Alright, hole 7 is a par 3, 168 feet. Any disc could work here, it's just going to be a matter of hitting the shot right. Let's see what Siri says. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 20. The answer is 10. My Elite Z-Buzz, which is my understable mid-range. Here we go. Not a bad option here for a disc to use. Understable mid-range, just going to throw a standstill with it, standstill backhand. All we got to do is throw it maybe on a little bit of hyzer, probably mostly flat, down tempo. If we hit the gap, we should get a birdie. That right there is very nice. A good gap hit there. Should be at around 15 feet for a turkey on this challenge. 3 birdies in a row. Let's see if we can do it. 12 feet left for the birdie here on 7. Very nice. That brings us to 4 under through 7. This is a great start. Let's move to hole 8. Alright, hole 8 here. 382 feet. Plays as a par 4. For the sake of scoring, I like to play it as a par 3. It's a 2-shot hole. We're going to need to throw a 220-foot tunnel shot and then go the rest of the way up the hill with some trees to beat to get to the basket. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 20. The number is 1. Which is my putting putter. We're playing this hole with my Stone Steady BL. Playing with my Stone Steady BL here, my putting putter. Not the worst option. It's a little bit understable, kind of similar to my baseline Luna. We're gonna have to throw it on a lot of hyzer, let it push through the gap, and then scramble from there basically, depending on where it lands. Alright, I love the way that I threw that shot. It pushed through the gap nicely. I'm hoping it got all the way around the corner so that we have just a dead straight putter backhand from there. But we'll see when we get up there. Alright, got to my tee shot here, only about 170 to 180 feet away, but playing uphill, so playing more like 200 to 210. But we got a nice little pushing hyzer line up the right side that we're going to try to hit. If we hit the gap and we hit the line, we should have a pretty easy 3 here. That will work very nicely. Tap in there for the 3 on hole 8. Alright, alright, alright. Easy par, moving to hole 9. Alright, hole 9, par 3, 290 feet, pretty much dead straight. Obviously, in a perfect world, we would get our ESP Luna here. Let's see if Siri can deliver. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 20. The answer is 17. Which is my Z Metallic Force. We are not throwing a lot of putters, and the back 9 needs some distance driver shots. Back 9 could be pretty brutal, but for now we will go with the overstable Z Metallic Force here. I think my best bet at getting a look for the birdie here is to just slam a low pushing anhyzer into the hill short of the basket and let it skid up the hill. I can't throw this too high. If I do, it could go a million feet past the basket, but I think that's my best chance at getting a look for the birdie. That is beautifully done, I'm not gonna lie. Still have to putt with the driver, but should be in circle one for another look at birdie here on the 9th. I would say pretty good catch there. Left a little bit high and left, but that's all right. 5 under par through 9 holes, moving to hole 10. All right, hole 10, 380 feet, playing it as a par 3, but it's very similar to hole 8 in that it takes 2 shots to get to the basket, and the basket's on an elevated green. Here we go, let's see what Siri has for us. Before we get into the back 9, I have eliminated all of the discs that I used on the front 9 to make Siri's job just a little bit easier. Now Siri will only be picking from 11 options. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 11. The answer is 5, which is my UVZ drone. And every time on this back 9 that Siri makes a selection, I will be removing the disc from the list just so it does not get picked again. Let's jump into it. Hole 10, UVZ drone. This is my most overstable mid-range, which is not a bad option for this hole. I'm going to try to get it as far around the corner to the left as I can while avoiding the trees, and then try to get up and down from there. I just barely caught a tree on the corner. Not a bad effort though. Let's go down there and see what kind of approach shot we have. Got up to my drive here. We're in the middle of the fairway, only about 190 feet away here. So pretty simple shot, but we're gonna have to go forehand with the drone. I'm gonna try to keep it low, keep it at the base of the hill, and then make the putt for the par. All right, I just barely got caught up short there. It's gonna be right around circle's edge. Tough putt here. Let's see if we can knock it down. That's a beautiful putt right there. That's a good par on 10. We survived 8 and 10 with 3s today. That sets us up very nicely for the last 8 holes. Moving to hole 11. All right, hole 11, a par 3, 308 feet. Sets up really well for a backhand spike hyzer and even a low inside forehand flex line. Let's see what Siri gives us. Hoping for something overstable. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 10. The answer is 2, which is my jawbreaker zone. We're going low, forehand turnover. I'm not exactly sure how close I can get with this shot because this isn't going to pan out in time. I could go backhand spike hyzer, but I don't really ever do that with the jawbreaker zone anyway, so I'm going to try this out and see what happens. Just barely clipped a branch going past. I think that's going to be mid-circle too. I'm not sure what kind of look we're going to have, but nevertheless it is a chance for the birdie. Let's go see if we can make it. Alright, right around 45 feet short here. Without the branch that tickled off the tee, I think we could have snuck up into circle 1. That's alright. Let's try to give it a good run here and see if we can get away with the birdie. Alright, just leaked it out a little left. I did go 15 feet long, so we're going to have to make that comebacker. Really wanted to walk away with a highlight putt there. That's alright. Let's see if we can make that putt and move to hole 12. Alright, that's a fine par there. 5 under through 11 holes. Moving to hole 12, hoping for a distance driver on the next. Alright, hole 12 is a 346 foot par 3. That's pretty uphill. The shot to get there, going through the low line, plays right around 380, and if you go over the top hyzer, it plays closer to 440 feet, I would say. Let's see what Siri gives us. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 9. The answer is 7, which is my Z Swirl Captain's Raptor, my most overstable fairway driver. Gonna have to punch a low flex shot here. Try to get the height and power and line just right, and maybe get a look at the birdie. I turned it over a little too much and I threw it a little too low. So I only got I'm probably still about 130 feet away. I can try to throw it in. Probably gonna be a par here. Let's see if we can get up and down. So not only did I miss, but my disc hit the ground and then skipped. So I have about a 23 footer-ish for the par. Gotta knock it down. Alright, it almost came out the backside there, which would have been an unfortunate situation. But we got the par, managed to salvage. Let's move to hole 13. We're gonna really want a distance driver on the next hole. All right, hole 13, par 3. 475 feet downhill, and then goes to the left at the end, so shapes really well for a backhand. I'm hoping for either my Z Captain's Raptor or one of my 2 remaining distance drivers. We have 8 options left for Siri to pick. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 8. The answer is 1, which is my ESP Luna. Here we go. Not sure what's gonna happen. There is a backhand turnover line over the bushes on the left side, and we're gonna try to take that, get some air under it, and hopefully if we hit the angle just right, it might work. It never really panned out, but I didn't throw it bad. I'm hoping I didn't throw it too far straight into the bushes. But overall, not a bad shot, and hopefully we can get up and down from there. That was another not so good bid. About 18 feet-ish for the par. Gotta knock it down again. Alright, very nice. That's another par. Let's move to hole 14. Alright, hole 14, par 3. 332 feet. Plays well for a backhand turnover or a forehand kind of pushing hyzer shot. Only 7 remaining options. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 7. The answer is 7, which is my ESP nuke. I don't really know what to do with this. Let's see what happens. Alright, I got my nuke in hand. Couple things I can do. Could go low backhand turnover or low forehand flex, and I think I'm going to opt for the forehand. Here we go. There is a road that is out of bounds right, and if I throw this correct, it'll probably skip OB. So I think the smarter thing to do actually is to throw that backhand turnover. Gotta try to hit the angle, take some power off of it, mitigate the skip. Here we go, let's give it a try. I threw that shot pretty well, but once it started fading, it faded really hard and then took a big skip to the left. I'd imagine it's going to be right around 45 to 50 feet for the birdie. See if we can give it a bid. No! Well, shoot. I gave it a good bid, just missed it a little left. 15 feet left for the cleanup. Alright, hole 15 is a par 3, 257 feet that goes up and to the right. Shapes really well for a forehand hyzer or a backhand turnover. I do have the Z Captain's Raptor remaining. I'm hoping for that off this tee shot. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 6. The answer is again 1, which this time is my Z zone. Would have loved to have had that for a couple of the other holes, but this is not a bad hole to use it on either. Here we go. This shot probably plays around 300 feet, which is as far as I can throw this sidearm if I hit it really well. So that's what I'm going to try to do here, just a really hard sidearm, hard and committed with the Z zone. I don't think that was too shabby. I think that's going to be right around circle's edge, short and right. So So we're gonna have to make a good putt, but not a bad tee shot here on the 15th. Yes. That's a great putt there and a great birdie on the 15th hole. Moving to 16, easiest hole on the course, I would say, up there with hole 7. Let's see if we can get a birdie. Okay, we're here on the 16th hole, which is a very short 216-foot par 3 that shapes really well for a forehand hyzer. Let's see what Siri gives us. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 5. The answer is 3. Which of my remaining discs is my ESP Vortex? There could not be a harder disc for me to throw this hole with. Here we go, let's see what happens. If there was one way to make this hole just a little bit more interesting, it would be to give me this disc. Not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I think I'm probably still gonna play the forehand hyzer. I'm gonna have to take a lot of power off of this. It's a very understable fairway driver. Emphasis on the hyzer out of the hand. We cannot have this flipping up and going straight. Okay, it kind of flipped up and rode on me a little bit. It's gonna be, I would guess, right around circle's edge right around pin high. Gonna have to make a good putt. Let's see if we can knock it down. The result was not as far away as I thought. We only have about 18 feet left for the birdie. Let's see if we can knock it down. All right, that's a good catch and a good putt there on the 16th. We are now 7 under through 16 holes with having Siri select our discs. If we manage to birdie the last 2, we shoot 9 under, which would be an incredible round. I would love to get at least one of them. Let's jump to 17. All right, hole 17 is a 438-foot par 3. Of the remaining discs we have 1 putter, 1 mid-range, 1 fairway driver, and 1 distance driver. The putter remaining is the Zone OS, and we do not want that on this hole. Hoping we don't get it. At all costs, we want to avoid that. That is number 1. Here we go. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 4.
It's 1.
Okay, so we ended up getting the Z Zone OS. Siri did not in fact clutch for us there. I'm going to rip this on a backhand flex upside down to try to get as much distance out of it as I can, and then hopefully get up and down for par. The birdie is now officially out of question here, I would say. Let's see what we can do. Upside down, Z Zone OS. It faded out a little left and a little early on me, to nobody's surprise, as it is incredibly overstable. Even upside down. We're gonna get up there and we're gonna see if we can scramble and get a par. Okay, we're right down here on the edge of the bushes. Basket's over there. See if we can get up and down for the par. All right, that shot was very well done. Should be a bullseye tapping for par here on the 17th. All right. Good par, heading over to the 18th. All right, here we are, hole 18, par 3, 267 feet over the pond to a basket elevated up on a rock. Let's see what Siri gives us. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 3. The answer is 3. My ESP force. This is my understable distance driver. We're gonna have to finesse it up there to try to get the birdie here on the 18th. Got a couple different options here. We got the low sidearm, got the low backhand. There's a little bit of an over the top line. We're going finesse backhand with the ESP force. Here we go. That right there, that is beautifully done. That is beautifully done. About 20 feet long, I'd say, 20 to 23. Let's knock it down, get the birdie, and close out this challenge. Here we go. All right, no more than 18 feet left here for the birdie on 18. That concludes my round where I have Siri pick the discs that I'm to throw on every hole. I shot 8 under par, which is one of my better rounds. I've played on Wildwood Longs in a while anyway. Shot 5 under on the front, closed it out with a 3 under on the back, and no bogeys on the day. I consider that a very successful challenge and a lot of fun to try. Let me know in the comments what videos you'd like to see from me. I'm enjoying creating more stuff for you guys. So if you have any ideas, please drop them in the comments below. If you like the video, like it, and if you love it, subscribe for some more awesome disc golf content. And until next time, have fun discing. Peace.